Hello, welcome back to the channel of Motorbike Nonsense. Welcome to sunny Spain. We're in Mahaja. It's about 20 degrees. I've got a slightly sweaty bum crack from doing some go-karting 10 minutes ago. But I'm here with the new BMW R1250R. I say new, it's been given some styling tweaks for 2023. It's got a new headlight that looks like it's been ripped from the S1000R. And to me, that actually really changes the look of this bike. It used to have that old, slightly granddaddy retro chrome-rimmed dinner plate of luminescent joy. And now it looks sporty. Now, it's also got some other new standard fit electronics. It's got a new eco riding mode to eke out some more fuel economy. It has got standard fit corner and traction control and ABS, and it's got some other bits and pieces which we'll talk about when I hit the road in a minute, because I've not actually ridden it yet. Spoiler. In terms of price, it starts at about £12,000 for the standard one. You're probably going to want the SE model in typical BMW style. That's the one that actually gets things like a quick shifter, semi-active suspension, etc, etc. That one's a smidge over £15,000. Now, to me, this bike does have a slightly existential sausage of Damocles hanging over its head like a levitating pepperami. And that is, what's it for? Who's it for? What's the point of it? Because if you want a boxer twin from BMW, you've got the R90. If you want a retro air-cooled one, if you just want a naked bike, you've got the S1000R, which is obviously faster than this, more powerful than this, more inline 4-y than this. And this kind of sits in the middle as sort of a performance-y boxer twin thing. It's got 136 horsepower, 143 newton meters of torque, and it's got the venerable shift cam engine. So I just want to find out what it's for, really, because could it possibly be a thinking man's speed triple replacement? Because the speed triple is now chasing power figures. This is not, and it's still a very torquey thing. But anyway, I'm going to stop yapping on. You've had enough time to admire my amazing outfit, my socks and my shoes. We're going to hit the road and ride it. Let's go do motorbikes. Right, going to hop on the R1250R. We're at Amarillo Circuit. We're not actually riding here until tomorrow on different BMWs. But yeah, about to head back to the hotel and get to put this through its paces in the mountain roads over there for an hour. I have already ridden the R1250 RS on the way here, so this is a separate video about the naked version. I have ridden it briefly already for some videography, and it does feel surprisingly different to that bike. I actually had much more confidence on this, but I'm kind of jumping the gun a little bit. There's Grandad Chops doing his thing, but I'll see you in a second in the mountains. We'll talk more about how sporty this feels or otherwise. Right, very first impressions of the R1250R is that it feels very comfortable. The riding position feels very natural. It feels like a very nice naked bike riding position. You've got big flat bars, not much of a reach to them at all. The pegs aren't too low, aren't too high. It's just kind of a Goldilocks riding position. And obviously I have no wind protection, so you might be struggling to hear me a little bit, but sometimes I prefer to be exposed to the wind, to have it flowing all over my body rather than just having it fired at my head by a screen that is too low. I'm 6'3", just for reference. My knees are nice and tucked into the tank cutouts, and the seat, it's very early days, but it's not too hard, doesn't feel too soft, like it's going to be sitting on a jelly with a plank of wood in the middle of it after a couple of hours. But yeah, we will see. I've got suspension dynamic mode. It feels firm-ish. I'll try it in comfort. Let's see if that really changes much. Or road, sorry, not comfort. Right, we're in road now. That's made a slight difference. It is not night and day, but it's just about perceptible. And yeah, this I want this to kind of feel a bit naughtier than the R1250 RS that I just got off. I do instantly feel more confident in this, as I said, in the corners. Partially, I think that might be down to the tyres. The RS comes on Michelin Road 5, this is on some Metzeler Road Tech 01, and these actually feel a little bit sportier to me and a little bit grippier. And although it's 20 degrees here in Spain, it looks lovely. The roads are actually quite dusty, greasy, and have to be a little bit careful. I've had a few slides out of some roundabouts and things, so yeah, I'll be a bit circumspect as usual. Hello, you Titan, don't you? I've got my lean angle gauge on the R1250R. You can have a sports display, which I'm using. I don't know if you can see it, but it's got a lean angle meter, so you can have a competition with your mates if they've got them, which we absolutely haven't been doing as journalists. I managed to get 43 degrees out of the R1250 RS, but I've just had an ice cream, so it's not going to be as good this afternoon. But yeah, brakes are strong. They do the business. Really nice solid lever feel, and they haul you down, and obviously you've got that lovely boxer twin punch on the way out of corners. I really do like this engine on the road. It doesn't scream you up to license losing speeds, it just gets you to 80, which is slightly license losing, really nicely. And it's always just got something in the tank for you, no matter your gear, no matter your revs. It will serve up some delicious ladles of torque from its buffet of power. It's a nice engine, is what I'm trying to say. This one's on the standard pipe, albeit the stainless steel accessory one. I wouldn't bother. And it sounds okay as well. You know, once you're above 60 miles an hour, the wind noise drowns it out. But anyway, I'm going to get some more twisty roads, do some more miles on it, and I'll get back to you on what I think of the BMW R1250R. In fact, my dad used to have one, and he really liked it. He said the biggest weakness was the BMW app. And as you can see, I've got a little phone tray which says, "Do not touch while riding." Look, I'm touching it. Somewhere in Germany, a man is screaming at his computer. But yeah, that's for your phone to go on. So you use the BMW app to get turn by turn, and map navigation as well. Actually, turn by turn goes on there. But yeah, waffle, let's do some more riding. Something quite unexpected has happened. I feel like I'm really bonding with this bike. It's a lot of fun. It feels very stable in corners, and I just feel like, I don't know, I've gelled with it really quickly, and I've already started to take the piss a bit off camera, like little weebies off crests and things. Even in like 4th gear, it's got enough torque to do tiny little ones with the traction control on. You can't clutch anything up with the traction control on for very long. But yeah, it makes you want to ride it just like any other naked bike, being all aggressive, elbows out. You could just have a lot of fun with it. And I was kind of hoping that would be the case, and I'm pleased to report it is. I think BMW could possibly have gone a bit further and given it a like slightly more aggy throttle map, but I guess it's not targeted at S1000R buyers. But yeah, it's nice to know it can really hustle. Like really hustle. The limiting factor is obviously the fleshy part here, especially because I've just had a massive Magnum ice cream and I'm falling asleep. But yeah, really fast turning. You do your fast turns, punch the bars, straighten it up really quickly. It doesn't get flighty. It does help that we're on roads that are smoother than something very smooth that doesn't get me arrested. It's a cool thing. And you've got a nice reassuring prod in the base of your spine from the pillion seat, so when you do accelerate, you're locked in place and you feel connected to the bike. Really impressed with this. All I would say is that you just can't hear it above the wind noise, so I'm actually having to look at the rev counter and kind of do it by feel, but you get some friendly, helpful vibes from the big boxer. But like, wow, it just stomps out of corners like a, I don't know. I don't know, it's just like a baby Super Duke almost, but with a bit more warble. Oh yeah, it feels really good when it's leant over. And the tank's a nice shape as well, so you can hang off a little bit and you can catch your leg on the side of the petrol tank. It's groovy. Nice little Canyon Carverino. Brakes are great. I'm getting loads of confidence from those Metzler tyres. Gas it out. Cool little roadster this. Really like it. And the back brake is decent as well. You can tread it into corners and actually feel kind of how much you're using, which is kind of nice. Yeah, boy. Lush. Look at that view! Look at that view! Sorry, don't crash the motorcycle, Timothy. Yeah! Tightens. Get that head round. Whoop! Quite glad for the traction control, because earlier when I was riding the R1250 RS, I had so much torque that some of the corners you're getting a little bit of slip because it's a bit sandy here. The roads are a little bit dusty and I can feel the rear ABS working a little bit as I use the back brake a little bit too hard. to trail into a corner. Shouldn't be doing that. Bad Tim. Enjoyamentos. Caveat, I know we're on smooth Spanish roads that are very unlike the ones you get in the UK, but whatever. I'll have to try one in the UK, it'll probably be fine. It's not rock hard. Actually, I've been in dynamic suspension mode the whole time, and it's been alright. Oh, I'm not sure if I've mentioned the dash actually. It is a smaller version of what you get on the GS basically, with slightly less info on it, but it is really clear, really easy to use, and really just rather lovely. One thing I haven't said doing all of that riding is this weighs 239 kilograms, I believe, and you just don't feel it. And the way it transitions from left turns to right turns down that road, the weight is so low down because of the engine. It's immaterial, really. It's really impressive. Really impressive. Have I said impressive? It's an impressive bike. I don't know if it stirs my soul, but it's a little bit more yobbo than I thought it was. A little bit more hooligan. It feels a little bit naughty. I like it. I like it. Well, let's talk about downsides on the R1250R. Obviously, it's a naked bike. You're going to get wind blast. I don't really consider that a downside. It's just a part of it being a motorbike with no windscreen. The quick shifter is pretty clunky, like on every other BMW boxer engine bike that I've ridden, and sometimes the down blipper feels like you're putting your foot through a plate glass window. It's not the smoothest or most satisfying thing to use. In fact, some people in our group who are fairly new to motorbikes said, "Oh, is that a quick shifter?" And I'm like, yeah, it doesn't always feel like it. Kind of feels like sometimes you're just forcing it to do things it doesn't really want to do. But that's kind of really it, other than the sound and lack of, and there isn't a Krapovich can on the accessories list, which sounds pretty nice. It is a really lovely road bike, and I kind of posited at the start of this video, maybe it's a thinking man's speed triple for those who want a bit more torque and character than the current speed triple provides. I know it's not a rival, it's not a super naked, it's not got a sportier chassis, the engine isn't as interesting, but for road riding I kind of think it's a better bike. I know I should be comparing them, but yeah, like look at Chopsy's having some fun, he's on an RS, but you know, this thing is pretty mega. Really impressed, really impressed. Loads of confidence, loads of fun, floating little wheelies off some of the corners. It's not a hooligan machine out and out, but it's a bike you can certainly keep up with your sports bike owning mates on, unless you do what I just did in that corner. Yeah, cool thing. Right, coming to the end of my esoteric bimble on the R1250R, I've tried eco mode. Look, it shows a green bar, which goes down as you open the throttle. I guess it softens everything off and gives you a different throttle map to try and save fuel. My reserve is on. So yeah, I'm really impressed with this bike. I know I've said that over and over again, but it just handles well, it goes well, it stops well, it's confidence inspiring, the weight is all down low, and you can properly hoon it as well, yet it's comfortable and you can tour on it. So yeah, nice little Swiss Army knife of a naked bike. I think the R9T has more character, the S1000R has more poke and a sportier chassis, and there's possibly a bit more fun, but this is still a great middle ground if you don't want either of those extremes. But anyway, thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed this, please do hit like and subscribe to the channel, because it makes my life happier, and I can't always be out in Spain doing nice things, but when I can, I'll try to bring you with me in my carry-on luggage of emotions. But anyway, I've been Tim, this has been the BMW R1250R, and I shall see you next time. What's the Spanish word for goodbye? Cervezas!